Welcome to the Shipyard, the extremely unofficial podcast for the San Diego Fleet football franchise. I am Joe Van Awesome Van Dalsum, and this, of course, is Brian Smithy Smith. Yeah, we are just two guys. You know, our lives are in order.
Yes, they are.
Everything about us is tip-top.
And synchronous.
Synchronous. Our bodies are physical specimens
Absolutely.
of health.
They're pillars.
Pillars of health.
Pillars of health.
Smith, guess what happened to me this week?
I don't know.
I was working, which I am employed.
Well, you too?
This is not my full-time job. I would like it to be. Hint, hint. AAF Fleet, if you're hearing this,
wink.
We're unofficial, but that doesn't have to be the case.
We can make it official. Put a ring on it.
We are sponsored by the Beard Club, of course.
Who else is sponsored by the Beard Club? Not you.
Yeah, the AAF Fleet. They probably have much larger sponsors like CBS and the Alliance.
I didn't think this out very well.
Nope, you screwed the pooch.
I did.
But no, I was wearing my Fleet hat to work.
And
it got recognized by two people that I've never met in my entire life, and it struck up a whole conversation. They're like, "Hey, is that a San Diego Fleet hat?" And I was like, "You damn right, it's a San Diego Fleet hat."
So they actually recognized that it was.
I didn't. Hat. They did recognize it. They called it out, and they even called out the starter. They're like, "Oh, is that the starter one?"
They've done their research.
I know, like these guys, they're on it. So there were two guys at work, and they were, we had a whole conversation about the starter revival around the AAF, and they thought that was pretty cool. We're hoping that there's some classic starter jackets coming.
Yes, that would be awesome.
But there was some interesting news around apparel in the AAF this week. Yes, really. I just got a text about it, actually.
Must be really interesting.
The AAF and New Era announced an official headwear agreement of the sideline headgear.
Oh, sideline. Okay.
Sideline headgear. So I don't think they're going to be like the only maker of hats, but they're going to be the only hats allowed that you can wear on the sideline is New Era. Now, Smith, you have the New Era hat.
I do.
I have the starter hat.
You do.
And I thought it might be a good idea to do a little bit of a comparison.
Let's do it.
We're going to test the limits of our descriptive prowess here.
So don't hold your breath.
Don't hold your breath. But we will be posting photos on Facebook and Twitter of the comparison so that you can make an informed decision as to which hat you would like to buy, starter or the New Era.
Can we post on Instagram too?
No.
All right, never mind.
Well... Oh, now I feel bad. Yeah, we can put it on. All right, great. So let's take off our hats.
I don't want to.
Well, I'm gonna. Oh yeah. All right.
All right, hold on.
Well, my hair's not looking good either. Okay.
If I had hair, it would not look good.
All right. So I'm looking now at the New Era on the left and the starter on the right. I'm just gonna say.
Can I stop you real quick?
Yes. Go ahead.
Immediately. There's two distinct differences, and that's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
So, and then go ahead.
All right. I'm going to see if I can pinpoint those distinct differences.
Okay.
The one that stands out to me right now is that the logo on the starter hat is substantially larger. I'm going to say 30% larger than the logo on the New Era hat. The other big difference that stands out to me is the New Era hat, for some reason, is only using the light gray for the entire Battleship logo, whereas the starter is using the light and the dark gray colors.
Yeah, it's almost like they're trying to do the subdued.
Yeah.
But really it's the same thing. It's just the stitching is going different ways, so it gives it a slightly different shading.
Yes. I'm going to have to... So the starter hat, when I first got it, I was a little disappointed because I felt like the embroidery was very, very, very thick and not very precise. So it kind of looked a little bit like the Battleship got punched in the face.
Yeah.
Specifically on the right side of the face, and it kind of got caved in. Ooh. It just looks a little wonky, I'll say that.
Cut me, Mick.
But I do like the usage of all three logo colors on the New Era hat.
They did
on the starter hat.
Yeah, they did a good job of making sure that they had all three colors, and it's obvious.
Yeah. It is obvious. The starter hat comes in the darker gray too, whereas the New Era hat is the lighter gray as the base hat. The starter hat's got a flatter brim, so if you're a bro like myself, that's going to be the option for you.
It's got the bro brim.
It's got the bro brim. The New Era hat has the much more curved brim.
Yeah. Well, I kind of I kind of massaged it myself.
Oh, you kind of curved it in there?
Yeah.
I've done some work on this brim as well, and it's still relatively flat.
It is.
All right, so let's take a look at the back.
Oh, boy.
Let's take a look at the back. Let's see what we got going on in the back. Now, this is riveting radio. Okay. We've got a prominent starter logo on the back.
And that's it.
That's it. And then we have the standard snapback.
Old school snapback.
The New Era hat, you have a San Diego Fleet embroider.
And I actually like that.
Spelled out. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
Because someone might not know what the logo is. So if someone sees you from the back, now they know. San Diego Fleet. Now the snapback's not a snapback. I'm seeing some Velcro going on here, Smith.
It is Velcro.
A Velcro snapback.
Correct.
Wow.
It's for those kids who can't quite get snapping down. It's much like shoelaces.
Snapping's a little too precise. I'm going to have to say that overall, I'm liking the starter hat more than the New Era hat.
It's because you're biased.
I might be biased. What about you? Do you like the New Era better?
I like the New Era better because of the back where it has San Diego Fleet embroidered out. What I would love to see, though, is basically the same hat, but with the same dark gray as the starter.
Yeah, I do like the dark gray of the starter hat for sure. And it's the only starter hat available. There's like 3 New Eras, by the way.
Correct.
Which one in particular was this? Do you remember?
I do not. Of course, don't ask me what I did yesterday either.
All right. Well, when we post the review, we'll give you direct links to the hats.
Yes.
All right.
Click on them.
So boom, that was like 10 minutes of hat review on the radio. If that doesn't get the fleet on board with our mission here, I don't know what will. But while we're on the topic of
just
apparel,
pack up the microphones.
While we're on the topic of apparel, there was of course the now infamous Salt Lake City Stallions jersey leak this week, and oh my goodness, I'm praying to God that this is not the real thing.
Yeah, I almost did somebody get this off of the Reddit and the delusional artist subreddit? It's not good.
Now, my theory on this is that it's an eager bootleg jersey bootlegger.
I can see that.
There's a prominent one. I'm not going to tell you how I know who it is, but Jenny Loop. You may have heard of the old Jenny Loop counterfeit jerseys out there, but basically they have every counterfeit jersey in the world. They charge like $20 and they're absolutely the worst things in the world. I'm not going to tell you how I know that for sure.
I wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. Buy real merchandise, people. Yeah. Don't be me.
Spend the extra $150.
It's worth it because you're just going to throw it in the garbage and be angry that you wasted a little bit of money instead of spending a decent amount of money on a quality product
that would last more than 2 games.
Yeah. Again, I don't know this from personal.
I've heard rumors.
Yeah. Now, back to the Salt Lake City.
Or this. Hey, man.
Back
to your podcast. Do whatever you want.
I'm just going to make up words.
All right.
Now, back to this jersey. It's blue. Just the whole thing's blue.
Blue.
And it's got what looks like the Denver Broncos font for the lettering.
And the numbers.
And the numbers. And it's very, very tiny on the jersey face.
Yeah, those numbers are small. It's like a Pop Warner jersey or something.
It's very odd. And then it has this inaugural season patch embroidered onto it. And to me, that's the giveaway for bootleg.
Right.
Because the quality of that patch, the spacing of the lettering.
Mm-hmm. The kerning.
Like the kerning. Exactly. Even the guy who designed the Birmingham Iron logo, which you know how we feel about, would not have come up with a patch like this. I tell you, the inaugural season patch probably would have had a little bit more bevel on it, though, if he had done it.
Oh, without a doubt. and how do you embroider bevel?
Yeah, actually, that's what's interesting is I saw the Birmingham Iron gear.
Right.
And all the bevel has just turned into an embroidery line, and it actually makes the logo a little bit more tolerable.
Oh.
Yeah. So check that out.
I need to check that out.
Yeah, but
maybe I'll be 10% less harsh.
Yeah. So then back to the jersey with the sleeves, you just got blue with 2 blue stripes and the AAF logo on the center of the collar. It's not good. It's really, really, really not good. And I'm hoping, praying just to the Lord, sweet baby Jesus, that it's not the real thing, real deal.
Same here. I mean, again, that goes back to the whole perception problem.
Perception problem is a big, 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 big deal. I think Perception definitely is an uphill battle for the AAF, but it looks like they're ramping up the team, Smith.
Yeah, it looks like starting to beef up their design team, which I think is a good sign, hopefully.
That is a good sign. They brought on Christopher Stoney, who is a graphic designer, to kind of lead up the efforts there in the Tampa headquarters. And he came from the Seattle Seahawks, which I think has a decent design aesthetic, that team.
They do. I just don't like the colors.
Yeah.
I like the old school Seahawks colors, personally. But
Well, Seahawks, I like their what they've done with the grays. Their gray variants are cool.
That I do have to admit, I like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So maybe we'll see some cool things coming with the fleet grays.
For sure.
But then they got another guy, Dan Goldfarb. I hadn't looked into his background at all yet. And then the other guy, Meech Robinson, who apparently is going to be control the West Coast.
So they divided it.
It looks like they're maybe dividing it east-west, which is kind of it might be.
Maybe they have a rivalry.
Maybe so you could out-design the other one. But it would actually, I kind of like that, because if you have two distinctive aesthetics for the two divisions, it could just add to the whole element.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
I really do like that idea, now that you mention it.
Yeah.
I had no clue before you said that.
Well, I look into stuff, Smith. I get it done.
I mean, nobody's ever accused you of not being a smart guy.
But yeah, so the perception, especially here in the San Diego market, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the San Diego market, because I've been debating this internally for a little while. Like, do we talk about the Chargers? Do we not talk about the Chargers? But there's no getting away from it here in San Diego.
You can't.
And the uphill battle that the AAF has is, how are they going to win over the San Diego market? Because some of us, like you and I, Smith, I think we're pretty willing to move on from the Chargers and hop into bed, so to speak, with this new, the new girl in town.
My rebound team.
Yeah, but others, I think, need a little bit more convincing. I would love to see, I'm really curious to see what San Diego specifically is going to do to kind of reach out to the community and get the fan base excited. I haven't seen too much of it yet.
No, if I may cut in right there, here we are, we're done basically with the first week of November. Season starts in February. I'm actually kind of surprised that we really haven't heard anything out of Fleet headquarters.
Yeah, it's been pretty quiet. And I think comparatively, if you're looking at the league as a whole, I would even venture to say that the San Diego Fleet is the most quiet of the 8 teams at this point.
I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah, so I'm really kind of curious to see that ramp up.
Unless we're just looking in the wrong places.
I don't think so. I'm looking everywhere.
I mean, I've scoured the interwebs and
yeah. So I'm sure a lot of information is going to be coming out soon, and they're probably going to hit this giant media market, campaigns after the QB draft that's coming up. But I'm anxious to see what they've got in store, because right now it's been a little bit of crickets.
Hopefully, no pun intended, they don't fumble this. Because it's important. I mean, like you said, there's a lot of people that are just disgusted with the whole football thing overall in San Diego. Yep. And then you're going to have the group that's like us, like, hey, yeah, we want football, but can we get that ball rolling?
Let's go. What are we gonna do here?
So I think that train on the tracks.
And again, that's kind of what we're trying to drum up here. I think a little organically, is some excitement around the team.
Yes.
Some excitement around the experience.
Speaking of experience, I think there's a little bit of information maybe we can drop at the
moment.
Right.
Yeah, we broke some info.
Yeah.
So this is pretty cool, actually. And on Twitter, of course, because that's where most everything is happening regarding to the AAF. The AAF fleet and the AAF commanders got into a little bit of a spat in our comment section.
And
at the same time revealed some information. So, and that, of course, is that the AAF app is going to be dropping in January, which I don't think has been announced anywhere, at least that I've seen.
I haven't seen it
so
either.
That could be exclusive information.
Do with it what you want.
Yeah, just get ready for that app. Get your search filled out for AAF.
Free up some space on your mobile device. Make sure you got enough room, and wait till January.
Credit for that goes to James Matthews at Jamestown360 for asking the question. We put out, what do you want to hear us questions answered on the podcast this week? He asked that question, and the fleet actually saw his list of questions and just jumped right in and answered all of them.
It's like baseball. They were the designated answerers.
Yeah, the designated answers. So that did our job for us, basically. I mean,
so
the question number one was, who do we think the Fleet's main rival will be? And definitively, without any hesitation, the Fleet confirmed that the Commanders will be their number one rival.
Yeah, I mean, it was such authority in that answer. It's like, okay.
They were like, no,
our work is done.
No hymns or hahs about
None.
They're like, those Commanders are the worst.
They're going
and
down.
we will destroy them. Pretty much. And then the Commanders were like, no, you're not.
Okay.
It was actually a pretty funny exchange. Go check it out on
full
the
of
Twitters.
gifts. And, yes, it's gifts with the soft G.
While we're on the topic of Twitter, we, of course, put out a poll last week based on last week's episode.
It was a great poll.
A great poll, which was, what should we call the members of the Fleet?
Yes.
There were 4 options put forth. Number 1 was the Fleetman, which we came up with last week during the broadcast. Number 2, of course, is my personal favorite, the Dikembe Fleetumbos.
Which is my favorite as well. I was really pulling for it.
Number 3 is the Fleetums, and number 4 is the Fleeties. So in the order that I just read them, that's actually how they scored.
Yeah.
Fleetman's
Fleetman.
it. If you're on the Fleet, you're a Fleetman.
You're a Fleetman.
According, it's set in stone now.
Done.
Twitter said it.
It's official.
We may still call them Dikembe Fleetumbos from time to time, though.
Just for, old time's sake.
Alrighty. So James Matthews asked another question on the Twitter, and he's
a curious fella.
He is a curious fella. I like
It's
that,
okay,
James
I
Matthews.
like it.
He's a good fella. I think he's angling for an award of some sort, which...
what kind of award could that be?
I think it's a crisp 5, Smithy.
Ooh.
I think he's...
One of Uncle Mike's crisp 5s?
I think he's angling to get himself one of Uncle Mike's crisp 5s.
I tell you what, he's off on the right foot.
You keep playing this game, James Matthews, and you
Yes.
are going to get yourself one of Uncle Mike's crisp 5s. Now you can just, you got it.
Yeah,
You won.
You're the only one that asks questions.
Yeah! Uncle Mike's
Uncle Mike, crisp 5!
crisp 5 of the week, Twitter tweets. All right.
Okay.
Okay, this has gone into a rambling mess at this point.
And the needle's going back to unofficial.
So, sideline mascot predictions. That's what we're going to spend a few minutes on.
I like this. I'm man, I can't even sit down for this.
Well, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to continue sitting down. But okay, we're just going to go through the East first,
Okay.
and then we'll get to the West. So, number 1, we've already had a lot of fun with the Memphis Express. It should just be a giant manila envelope.
That works.
It works for me.
It does.
You could put stamps on it.
Absolutely.
You could transport something from one side of the field to the other, like T-shirts, perhaps.
Oh,
Yeah.
Or hats.
Maybe hats.
I like it.
Yeah. Manila envelopes. Perfect, in my opinion.
Done.
Done. Should we just do
every
the
other
East this week and the West next week?
Let's do them all, man.
Do them all? All right.
Yeah, live on the edge, dude.
All right, man.
What are you playing it safe? Oh gosh.
All right, next
That's
up
the Van
is
Awesome I used to know.
all right. Next up is the Atlanta Legends, which we all know is Smithy's favorite team.
Oh gosh. I still don't get the name.
They're legends, man. But you know,
Yes.
I'm saying we go literal with this.
That I can definitely go with.
All right. Do you want to tackle this one? Or should
I'm gonna do it.
All right, do it. Yep, do it.
The Atlanta Legends official mascot should be a map legend.
I love it. Like it's just a map,
Right.
but you don't really just the legend part.
just the legend part of it.
It'll have like a little wavy part for a river,
Yes.
like a little mileage.
It'll say like
gauge.
1 inch equals a mile.
Yeah, maybe it should be 10 yards long,
Oh,
so that it has little tick marks, and it could be
Yes.
like, this is 10 yards.
it's 10 yards.
This is the first down.
Right.
I like it.
Done.
Map legend.
Ship
Atlanta Legends. I think it fits.
Does.
All right, moving on to the Birmingham Bevels. I mean the Birmingham Iron. I hadn't thought this one through too much.
Right. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
I see
It's
what we're going
iron.
with.
It could be like maybe a hammer,
Right.
an anvil.
Yeah, or like a big sweaty dude with the hammer getting ready to hit something on the anvil.
Yeah.
Sparks behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
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 Should be like a big piece of broccoli.
Yes, it should. Big
Fortified with vitamins and iron.
That's it. We're going to have a big old head of broccoli on the sideline for Birmingham.
As you can tell, folks, we are taking the obnoxious approach to this list of mascots.
In hopes that they'll get the hint.
All right, moving on to the great city of Orlando and our favorite team and mascot, the Apollos. There's a couple different ways we could go here. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. Apollo Ono.
Hey, I mean,
the world-class
skater.
Speed skater. Yeah. Look. You got a field, right? There's no reason. Just put a big speed skating rink all the way around the perimeter and just have Apollo go nuts.
And what's great, since he's a speed skater, like every time they score, he can do one lap.
One lap. And then he tries to beat himself every time.
Yes.
I like it.
He tries to lap himself.
And then he's got a t-shirt cannon with him.
That just stepped it up a whole new level right there.
Okay, so it's settled. Well, no. I mean, we could be...
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Follow me here. Apollo, strong name.
Strong man.
But what would you pair with that to make it even stronger? Maybe some kind of motto or saying or perhaps
a creed.
Apollo Creed.
Well played, Smithy.
Yes.
Apollo Creed. I mean, there's no getting around it. Apollo Creed is fantastic. All right, moving on to the Stallions.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we kind of touched on this one last week.
We did. And actually, you know what? Speaking of that, I dipped my toes in the design pool.
Did you?
I did. And I came up with my own helmet design for Salt Lake City Stallions.
And of course, we're talking about the Salt Lake City Italian Stallions.
Yes.
To go along with the Apollo Creeds of the Orlando Apollos. I have had a sneak peek of this helmet design, and it's phenomenal.
It is.
We're gonna have to put that out on the Twitter.
We will post that on Twitter, and which is great too, because now there can be an interdivisional rivalry between the Apollos and the Italian Stallions.
That's true, because we've gone on to the West. Salt Lake City is apparently in the West.
Yes.
All right, San Diego Fleet. We won't save them for last, even though we probably should, but we won't. I'm just thinking a big ass boat with t-shirt cannons,
and like. It's the guns on the boat.
The guns on the boat.
Yeah, it's like a battleship of T-shirts.
I'm actually being slightly serious on this one, right? It could be a battleship with cannons, and those cannons should be non-stop launching T-shirts and hats.
Yeah, even during plays.
Even during plays. It should be as distracting as possible.
Right. Especially if they suck.
Yeah, you have to distract if they suck with T-shirts and hats.
And you got to bring the fans in somehow.
You got to. Yeah, I mean, I think that one's pretty obvious. It should be a very large boat, a battleship, so to speak, with cannons, shooting them out.
Shooting T-shirts, shooting other type of tchotchkes.
All right, the Arizona Hot Shots. I was thinking that this could just be a belligerent guy taking shots the entire game.
And he just progressively gets more belligerent.
Yeah, and like hotter. Like they got him standing next to a heater.
Yes, he's just sweating. Like he just cannot stop
sweaty guy taking shots for every first down. Every football play,
right,
he takes a shot, and then by the end he's just stumbling around the field.
He's not even himself by the end of the game.
He's completely blacked out. Yeah. He's offended the cheerleaders.
He's trying to fight the cheerleaders.
Yeah. Trying to put a helmet on and get out there and show him how it's done himself.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, that literally we're kind of coming up with the first thing off the top of our heads.
And I mean, what else are you going to do in Arizona anyway?
So moving on to the Commanders.
I was thinking of somebody that's like really demanding and always telling you something to do. Like, you need to do this. Like, you're not my mom.
Yeah, no, I like that. Like a nagging person who's like wanders around the stadium and like,
you're not cheering enough.
Have you taken out that trash? Like, making sure you cleaned up after yourself.
You didn't brush your teeth.
She's like goes to like the end zone section and gives them all a task.
Yes.
Like they have to earn the right to watch this football game.
They put a to-do list on the refrigerator.
I kind of like that. The Naggy Commander.
Commander
again.
Nag. Commander Nag, yes.
Yeah. So the Memphis Express podcast also threw their hat into this question ring. They just asked us simply, what's our favorite color?
That's a little personal, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose it is. Guys, we would appreciate it if you would stay out of our personal business and just...
Yeah, you don't see us asking you what your favorite color is.
We're colorblind out here out in the West.
Yeah, it's because of all the sunshine.
Yeah.
Shovel.
No, my favorite colors are battleship gray, slightly lighter gray, and yellow.
And yellow.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Boom!
Oh!
But for real, stay out of our personal affairs.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Uncool. Okay, Smithy. So by far the biggest news in the AAF this week was the announcement of the quarterback draft.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a doozy too.
Everybody loves quarterbacks.
Everyone loves their quarterbacks. It's an odd format, and I will do my best to explain it right now. So basically, every team at this stage has, I believe, 4 quarterbacks on their roster.
Okay.
And then there's going to be a 4-round draft. Even though they're already on a roster, there's going to be a draft where you can basically steal other people's quarterbacks if they don't protect them in the first round.
Expansion team draft or something.
Yeah, kind of like an expansion team. So basically, the San Diego Fleet has the first pick in the draft. And
see you in Vegas.
See you in Vegas on November 27th, by the way, and it'll be on CBS. So this will be the first televised event for the AAF. It's actually
cool,
kind of a big deal. I expect that after that, that's going to be kind of the kickoff moment, in my opinion.
Hopefully, they won't go dark again until the season starts.
Yeah, and hopefully, we'll have some uniform announcements by then and everything. So, but here's how round 1 works. Okay, so if the San Diego Fleet have the first pick, they can either choose to protect one of their quarterbacks.
Right.
Like, so we decide to protect Josh Johnson.
Okay.
And if we do that, that's our first round pick.
Got it.
Now, if we don't, then what we're doing, essentially saying, is we're going to let all the other teams either secure one guy from their team or pass completely.
Right.
And then before the first round's over, we get another chance to then pick anyone from our squad or anyone from anybody who was not protected.
Okay.
So if it goes through all the rounds and say the Birmingham Bevels decide they don't want to keep any of their guys,
right,
and we decided not to protect any of our guys, then we could choose the Birmingham Bevels top quarterback based on what we liked.
Gotcha.
So now it's very different, and my thought initially was, sweet, we got the first pick. But in reality, I don't know how good that is.
I don't know.
Because we don't know what the other teams are going to do, right? So we know we're going to know what talent's out there because of all the combines and everything that they're having leading up to the draft. But we don't know what every other team's going to do, and we're forced to make that first decision. So are we going to pass or are we going to keep one of our guys? I don't know. And then what if everybody else keeps all their guys? Then, yeah, so it's basically kind of interesting. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what teams do.
Yes.
But then it's a snake draft after that, kind of like fantasy football style.
Right.
So because we have the first draft, now we have the last draft pick in the second round.
Correct.
So,
however,
we are going to have, I feel like this is kind of like the worst spot to be in, to be honest, because we either have to protect our guy.
Right.
Or we wait and see and have it, there's a good chance that everyone's going to protect all their guys. And then we get screwed on the backup because now we have the last pick in the second round.
Right.
Right. So our backup quarterback is going to be essentially the worst of the backups. Right. So I don't know. I'm not so sure that having the first pick, I was pretty excited at first. I was like, sweet, first round pick, but
you never know. It may work out.
Yeah.
Also, too, it could be like the other teams may just be waiting to see what the Fleet does and like, oh, we're just going to do what the Fleet does. So if the Fleet picks, everybody else is going to pick. If the Fleet protects, all the other ones may protect. So it may not end up being horrible.
Yeah.
But again, we're not going to know until this thing is done.
Yeah. Regardless, we got the last pick in the second round, though.
But we have the first pick of the third round.
That's true. So our third round quarterback. Suck it, Commanders. We're going to have the best third string quarterback in the league.
So what you going to do about that?
At least we're going to have, a whole 8 picks better than the Commanders on our third round quarterback. There's been something that's bugging us, I think, that we haven't yet talked about. And it's these introduction videos to every team.
I'm going to say this bugs me a little bit more than the logos.
A little bit more than the logos, the introduction videos?
Oh yeah. Like, and when I mean a little bit, I mean, we're talking like, what's the distance of California to New York?
So needless to say, the introduction videos weren't the best. In fact, let's just play the Birmingham Iron one for you now.
Yeah, and then 30 seconds, you'll live.
You'll hear our reactions, and we'll talk about these introduction videos for a minute. All right, here we go.
Fire away.
Iron, the foundation of America's strength, born of incredible heat, hard work and dedication. An alchemy of 3 elements: strength, endurance, and unwavering power, forged in one place, Birmingham, Alabama. Welcome, the Birmingham Iron.
Okay, first of all,
oh boy,
Spiffy.
Yes.
Iron. Iron.
That guy's voice.
I thought that was Robert Downey Jr. playing his character from Tropic Thunder.
I know the character you're referring to, and I thought it was the Arby's announcer. We have the meats guy
and horsey sauce.
Man, that guy's voice. Oh, I bet. I'm wondering if it's the same guy who designed the logos, and he just kind of, because he did the narration for all the videos.
Yes. So I mean, he got the gig, but you know what? This is
Iron.
Just that first part. He just comes right in with iron.
Yeah.
Boom. Yeah, this is badass.
I'm gonna talk like this the rest of the podcast.
Yeah. So it's clear to me. I mean, it looks to me like they just went and found a bunch of stock footage.
It does.
From
Pond 5 or something.
Yeah, Pond 5 or something. Oops, I just hit my microphone. But something along those lines, and then just mashed it together and then narrated it kind of quickly. Because I might be inclined to give him a little bit of slack just because I don't know what the time frame between them settling on names and them revealing them were.
Yeah, maybe, there wasn't a whole lot of lead time to even put these together.
There wasn't.
That.
So,
and I hate to be negative about this. I really do. But again, it goes back to the perception thing.
Yeah.
If you can't scrimp on this, man.
You can't.
It's man.
Yeah, you need to blow it out, and you need to blow it out hard from the get-go.
Yeah, you need to step up the production quality on this. I mean, I know the AAF doesn't have the NFL money, but the one thing you shouldn't scrimp on is the marketing.
Yeah, agreed. And like we touched on earlier, there's been a limited supply of it to date. So hopefully with the new crew on board, this is going to change. They're really going to start ramping things up, get that production value where it needs to be.
And I'm looking forward to it.
I'm a little worried because I know the Vince McMahon machine and the XFL has just an ungodly amount of money in their initiative of 500. He committed $500 million basically to his operation.
And that whole WWE is a marketing juggernaut.
Yeah.
So it's
got
your work cut out for you, AAF.
It's not going to be a walk in the park. Like, these things need to be good. They need to be very good.
Yes.
And they need to put some money behind them if this is going to work. So,
however, I have
not to be negative.
No, not to be negative, but I do
have tough love right here.
I do have it's constructive criticism, but I do have one request of the AAF marketing team.
Go for it.
If you're going to do voiceovers, please do not hire Joe Buck or Chris Collinsworth.
Oh yeah, that's a given.
So
yeah,
or
who would have been great is the NFL Films guy.
Oh yes,
get like this guy's voice. He's
Franzetta.
Like this obviously fake voice they're using in this. I mean, listen to this guy.
On the 40-yard.
The foundation of America's strength.
Right?
What you mean, you people?
The foundation of America's strength. Nobody talks like that.
What? You guys didn't have a steel industry until the late 1800s.
It's also so that's not very foundational.
No,
but
George Washington didn't have a tour of the factory.
It should have been a more football oriented and just instead of some dude trying to sound badass.
Yes.
In the Memphis one, he adopts this crazy accent.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's hear that next.
All right, let's hear that now.
I just have to say one thing before we watch the Memphis Express intro video.
Okay.
Everybody, if you have any alcoholic beverages, get them out now. line up some shot glasses, and take a shot every time the voiceover says Memphis.
You're welcome. Here we go.
To say Memphis is fast is to miss that Memphis is strong. To say Memphis is strong is to miss that Memphis never settles. Memphis embodies America, built on values, teamwork, precision, and execution. Only one name captures what this city is all about: the Memphis Express.
Six Memphises.
So you should have taken 6 shots in 30 seconds.
And the first 5 of those should have come within the first 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
He really hammered down on the Memphis.
Yeah, they really were worried about confusing it with another city.
No, we got it, man. This was Memphis's intro video for sure.
Yes, nailed it.
But then again, he adopted that crazy Memphis accent.
He did. Like, I don't know.
It's the same dude in all the videos. We know that's not your accent, guy.
You're not fooling anybody, buddy.
Good stuff. Which leads us to the introduction video for the Arizona Hotshots. Let's see how they do.
Fire away, sir.
Heat. Searing. Scorching. Heat.
Whoa.
1,400 degrees of seemingly unstoppable power.
Dang.
Those who run into it, we call heroes. Arizona is home to many types of hero. Mavericks, warriors, and hotshots.
This one was just kind of confusing to me.
Yes.
Well, because like it was oddly laid out. They just talk about it being super hot, and then they talk about heroes, and then they name a couple of different kinds of heroes,
right?
And then they name hot shots, but it's not immediately apparent that a hot shot is a person that runs into fires and puts it out.
No, I mean, they're pretty much absolutely next to nothing to do with firefighting.
Yeah, it was just like hot heat. Hot heat. Heroes.
It's seemingly hot.
Well, it's people. Yeah, they kind of touched on it, but it was a little confusing to me, that one.
Yeah, not the best.
If I didn't know that a firefighter was called a hot shot, a person who puts out brush fires, I would have no idea what.
Oh, I'd have been lost.
I just would have thought it would have come out of the blue there.
Yeah, I just thought it'd be a bunch of things in the desert.
Yeah.
That you always see in Western movies.
Yeah.
All right, next.
Up. Who do we got? Okay,
Atlanta Legends.
We've hit up the Legends is next. So I'm curious. I'm excited for this one because one, we were pretty confused on what the Legends are actually referring to.
Yeah, because again, I'm still trying.
All right, here we go.
Welcome to Atlanta.
There's our boy again.
A city where players come and go, but legends live forever. Don't show up in the ATL if you're willing to settle for good. This is the city of gold shoes, gold medals, and Hamlet Hank. A city of a king with a dream. Welcome to Atlanta, the city of legends.
Oh, all right. Well, that one added a little funk to it.
You know what? I liked it.
That was probably my favorite one so far. That was my favorite one so far. When it did pan on the video itself, when it said City of Legends, or the first time it said legend, it just showed a footage of Mike Vick just nodding his head I know I'm a legend.
It's the city's known as for gold shoes.
Gold shoes? Did I hear that?
It said gold shoes.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Gold medals and Hamlet Hank.
Yeah, right before gold medals. No, right before gold medals.
Golden shoes?
Yeah.
Gold medals.
Oh. Sorry.
This is the city of gold shoes, gold medals, and Hamlet Hank.
Gold shoes?
Gold shoes?
What? You can't run in those. It'd be too heavy.
I don't know. I don't know what the golden shoes reference. Maybe we have to be from Atlanta to know what the golden shoes reference is.
Yeah, maybe it's not
maybe
literally gold shoes. I don't know. I just don't know. And, by the way, Hank Aaron got to start in Milwaukee.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I know the Braves moved from Milwaukee to Atlanta. I know that, but still.
All right. Well, so far, best one. He did change up his voice a little bit again.
He did.
On that one to make it sound a little funkier, a little bit more
Had the best background music.
Yep.
So
that I maybe was closest to the guy's actual real voice. Maybe.
Probably.
So anyway, we already did the Express, so we'll do the Apollos next. I'm looking forward to this one.
Oh boy.
All right. So far we're seeing shirtless Greek god.
Yes.
To start. So this is looking promising.
Tweetus.
This is Tweetus. All right. Tweetus the Greek god is the thumbnail, and we're going to go ahead and play right now.
God of the sun, conqueror of the moon. One name has struck fear in its opponents' hearts for thousands of years. In a city like this, we are all gods of the sun. In a city like this, we are all Apollos.
The ending graphic, I gotta give him a little credit on that ending graphic.
Okay, yeah. Maybe there was some decent animation around that graphic. Still not a fan of the logo.
Nope.
I guess they did what they could with it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fault them too much on this one.
No.
They did touch on the moon landing a little bit.
Which is the theme they should have stuck with from the very beginning.
I agree that should have been the theme that they went with, because that's super cool.
Yes.
All right. Well, our commentary was lacking on that one.
Yeah, I mean, well, it was a shorter video. There's not much.
It was a shorter video. He did go back to his kind of epic voice.
He did.
Now let's just move on to the Salt Lake Stallions.
Let's move it along.
Just slightly underwhelming.
How do we measure power? How was the West won? When the land was so vast and the challenge so great, what could carry us to the silver tops of the Wasatch Mountains?
Horses.
And along the shores of the Great Salt Lake. Wild and untamed like the land.
And the horses.
The Stallions of Salt Lake City.
Horses. I think our remix just made that better.
Yeah, it went from a 1 to like a 5.
Yeah, I like the addition of the horses. I kind of want to do it one more time and just let's really blow it out with the
horses. Yeah,
the horse commentary. Okay,
all right.
Every time we see a horse, ready?
Every single horse, or just when there's horses?
Let's do it for every single horse.
Oh boy.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Horses.
Oh, that's like 20
horses.
How was the West won?
Horse.
When the land was so vast and the challenge was so great, what could carry us to the silver tops of the Wasatch Mountains and along the shores of the Great Salt Lake?
Horse.
Wild and untamed like the land. The Stallions of Salt Lake City.
Horse logo.
That was a lot of horses.
That is a gaggle of horses.
Well, we said last week we don't really understand the Salt Lake City and the horse relationship, but apparently there's just horses everywhere in Salt Lake City.
And we still don't understand the relationship.
Like, there's at least 5 horses to every person in that city.
It's a heck of a ratio. I mean,
yeah.
You should never... How do you feed them all?
Considerable infrastructure issues around how many horses are in Salt Lake City.
Well, that probably explains why that lake is so salty.
Couldn't have put it better myself. All right, let's move on to the San Antonio Commanders. Let's see what they command.
In Military City, USA, duty, honor, sacrifice. These are not just words. They are a way of life. For 300 unbroken years, men and women have defended a cause greater than themselves. From the Alamo to today, San Antonio has always been home to the Commanders.
Again, strong logo animation on the closing of that video.
Yeah, I can't argue with that one.
Yep. Look, I have no issues with that one other than just the guy's voice again. I'm just not a big fan of this dude's voice.
That and
it's over the top.
Perhaps the fact that they barely showed any military and they talked it's like, let's see, there was Border Patrol. It's not military. There was some other law enforcement shots in there,
but
very few actual military personnel.
Yeah, I guess you're right on that one. There.
So, swing and a miss.
Let's look at it one more time because I wasn't focusing on that for some reason. I kept focusing on the weird city shots that they decided to choose,
which I get. I mean, I have a little attachment to San Antonio, by the way. It's where I went to boot camp for the Air Force.
Oh,
so
a military man. Yeah, Smithy is. So yeah, there was one section in particular in this where it is like a culmination, the climax of the epicness of this town, and it's just a shot of like a little gondola ride under a little bridge.
It's so
and I'm
serene.
like, oh, that's not. Yeah, didn't really kind of capture the toughness of it. But here we go, one more time.
All right.
In Military City, USA,
there's military.
Okay, there's
duty,
military.
Cops.
honor, sacrifice. These are not just words. They are a way of life. For 300 unbroken years, men and women have defended a cause greater than themselves. From the Alamo to today, San Antonio has always been home to the Commanders.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, Smithy. So there definitely was very few shots of actual military installations.
I think there was one shot of actually military people, and it was just their legs and feet marching. And then they had a shot of a Medal of Honor.
Oh, okay.
That was it. The rest was either shots of the city.
Mm-hmm. What about the old timey shots? Were those military people? Or?
I believe those were the old Texas Rangers.
Aha. Okay.
So, and yeah, the city, and ending it with a nice little serene gondola ride.
Yeah, so that was an interesting one. Again, the visuals, I'm assuming whatever stock service they were using was a little limited on this one.
But they saved them some dollars.
That's what's
important. All right, so
the Atlanta one at least had Mike Vick in it. You know they went out with a camera and actually shot for that one.
Yeah, you know what? They actually, something related to the team.
Yeah.
Like visually.
So Atlanta is leading this race at the moment.
And without further ado, and to round it out,
San Diego Fleet. Here we go.
Fleetman.
The Fleetman of the fleet.
Yes.
Firepower. Teamwork. Ingenuity. 200 ships. 2,000 aircraft. 250,000 sailors. The greatest fighting force the world has ever known. The Pacific is their domain. San Diego is their home. And football is back. This is the San Diego Fleet.
Okay. Hands down, and I'm not biased here, but I am biased.
Okay.
Hands down, this was the best video. And I'll explain why. One, practically every single shot was relevant.
Mm-hmm.
There was ships, there was sailors, there was ships and more sailors, and then they showed San Diego and a football.
They actually showed football in this one.
Yes.
Which, other than Atlanta, I don't think they did in any of the other videos.
I think you are correct.
So I agree with you. I saw this when it was first released as well. And last week I talked about the logo kind of sucking me in and bringing me in. This video actually added to that for me. I did watch it for the first time on mute because I was at work.
Okay.
So I hadn't had a chance to really kind of take in the announcer and all of his glory.
Gives a little different perspective.
The voiceover guy and all of his glory.
Yeah.
But it kind of fits.
It does.
Right? And I would say Commanders, Atlanta, and the Fleet are the top three. I think the Fleet video nailed it on all fronts as far as relevancy.
Yes.
Like you said. And overall, good job.
Good job. The only issue, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay.
Sir. The only issue I have with the Fleet's intro video is basically the copy, the script for it. I don't think it was the strongest.
Could have been a little bit better.
I think it could have been better, but overall, it's my number one.
It is settled.
Done.
Fleet, again, the best. Good job.
See you in Vegas.
But then again, that's about all we've seen out of the Fleet, marketing-wise.
Right.
We really haven't seen too much. I know they did something around Fleet Week in San Diego, which is a military.
Yeah, it's a big to-do.
Big deal in San Diego. So down in downtown, there may have been a bit more to do that we just didn't catch because we didn't happen to be down there for that.
Right.
But through mainstream media and a lot of the other channels, we just haven't really seen that much.
You know what? Maybe this is something where with the fleet, it's not about quantity, but quality.
Well played, San Diego Fleet.
Well played.
Well played. Alrighty.
Uncle Mike might be looking at you for one of them Crisp 5s.
Ooh, San Diego Fleet as an organization is now in the running for the Crisp 5 of the week.
I like it. You know what? the more candidates for Crisp 5s, I think the better.
The better. So right now it's between Jamestown 360 of Twitter and the actual San Diego Fleet. You are in the two front runners for Crisp 5 of the week. We will announce the winner next week.
Next week. Not this week.
Not this week.
But next week.
Next week.
Yes, whenever that may be.
But you know what? Growing a fan base is a little bit like growing a beard.
Makes sense.
The more you care for it, the more it grows.
That is a perfect progression.
I think that's safe to assume. So Apache beard is kind of a lot like unfilled grandstands. Am I right?
Yeah, nobody wants to see empty seats or empty space on your face.
Exactly. So what we've done is we've partnered with the Beard Club, and we will be giving away seats to the home opener of the San Diego Fleet versus the Atlanta Legends.
What?
Yes.
Nice.
Not only will we be giving away seats, but we'll be giving away a fancy-dancy tote bag, so to speak, of beard care products.
Nice.
Yeah, so this is the Grow Your Beard, Grow Your Fan Base.
Why are we not working in the marketing department for the fleet?
So, ladies, we want to see you get in on this.
Yes. Grow your beard, ladies.
Grow your beard, grow your fan base. Of course, keep listening in the coming weeks for details on the contest. We will be rolling that out as the season progresses, but we will be giving away 2 very good seats. At least 2, I'm going to say. At least 2 very good seats, combined with a great package from thebeardclub.com that'll get your beard looking fantastic. But in the meantime, if you want your beard to look, if you don't want to wait for your beard to look fantastic, just go to thebeardclub.com/best-deal-ever. Link will be in the show notes, and you will get the amazing No Shave November deal that's going on right now.
And may I add, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I'm going to add this anyway. If anybody out here happens to get any products from the Beard Club, hey, let us know on Twitter, let us know on the Facebook, let us know on the old Instagrammies.
Send us photos of those sweet, sweet beards. We'll look at them. We'll look at them real hard.
And we'll post them.
We'll post them. We'll talk to you about them.
Yep. We'll maybe make comments about it.
Guaranteed comments.
Yes.
For sure on the beard.
So be prepared.
We are, of course, the boys at the yard. Our milkshakes are better than yours, Smithy.
Damn right they're better than yours.
Oh, a little sassy this week. I like it.
A little sassy Smithy today.
Sassy Smithy.
You know it. Be careful.
So keep listening as we reveal the details on how exactly to win these seats and how exactly to win this package from thebeardclub.com. But if you don't feel like waiting, you can go to thebeardclub.com/best-deal-ever. Not dot dash, but you can go to thebeardclub.com/best. Fucking pause. All right. 3, 2, 1.